This week's Parshas are Behar and Bechukosai. In Parshas Behar, the Torah discusses the laws of Shemitah. Shemitah is that every 7 years, during the times of the Beis HaMikdash, when the Jewish people had their own land, lived in their own land, every 7 years, all the farmers would abandon the fields, stop working the fields, and they would no longer engage in agriculture, just leave the fields to whoever wanted to take whatever produce they had on the fields. In the beginning of Parshas Bechukosai, it speaks of the possible blessing and possible curse. If we follow Hashem's chukim, His laws, then we will receive countless blessings, miraculous blessings. And if we don't, then we will receive countless terrible calamities, one after another. Now, when the verses speak of the reason why we will receive the blessings, or in converse, why we receive the curses, the Torah is very specific at the beginning. It says, "In Bechukosai silechu," if you will follow my chukim, my laws, my statutes. Or in Bechukosai tim also, if you will be disgusted with my chukim, with my statutes, then you'll receive all of this terrible calamities. Now, so it sounds like it's very simple. You listen to Hashem, you do the mitzvahs. As a general idea, all of the mitzvahs, or the majority of them, let's say, then you will get all of the brachas. If you don't, then you'll get all of these curses. But a closer reading of the psukim seems to reveal something else entirely. If you read the psukim carefully, towards the middle of the paragraphs which speak about what will befall if we don't do Hashem's will, it says, "As tirtze haaretz es shabseiseha." Then the land will be appeased of its abandoned sabbatical years, the Shemitah years, the 7th year when the land is supposed to lay fallow. It's very clear from the verses, which seems to contradict what we just said, that the reason why this curse befalls the Jewish people, the Jewish land, is because people did not keep Shemitah. People did not abandon the field, stop working the field in the 7th year. As a result, in order for the field to lay fallow, Hashem created a situation where terrible calamities would befall the Jewish people, and whether they liked it or not, involuntarily, the fields would be laid fallow by default because they'd be jailed, they'd be killed, they'd be thrown out of the land, for whatever reason. So now, which one is it? In the beginning of the paragraph, it says the reason why we'll receive all the curses, it's because you will be disgusted with my chukim, with my laws. You will not not do my will or follow my directives. But then in the middle of the teichacha, in the middle of the rebuke of the terrible calamities, it says, after all of these things befall you, it'll be the Shemitah, the land will become appeased from its abandoned sabbatical years. So is it because we didn't observe the Shemitah, or because we didn't observe generally the entire Torah? The answer is that, what did the farmers do? What did everybody do in the 7th year? Okay, they abandoned their fields and they just stopped tilling the land, pruning the trees, doing whatever it is to the land. So what did they do for an entire year? What did an entire faction of the Jewish people do for an entire year? The answer is what they did was they learned. They learned Torah. They focused on Torah. They spent their time the entire year basically being in yeshiva, learning Torah 24/7. So now we understand why it says, if you will follow my chukim, if you will be disgusted with my chukim. If you look at Rashi, right in the beginning of Parshas Bechukosai, it says, Rashi says that what does it mean if you follow my chukim, you follow my laws? It means that you should be amelim b'Torah, you should toil in Torah, delve into Torah, become engrossed in Torah, in its study. And that's what it's saying. If you abandon the Shemitah, if you don't follow the laws of Shemitah, you don't have that year where you have time to be amelim b'Torah, to focus on the Torah. And therefore, the Torah says that whether you like it or not, if you abandon Shemitah, Hashem's going to make sure that the land becomes fallow involuntarily and kick you out of the land, because those two things are intertwined. Because what the farmers spent their time doing during that 7th year is they spent that time learning Torah. Just a quick question. If you look again in that part of the Parsha about the Teichacha, when the Jewish people received befall, these calamities, before that it speaks about the brachos, the good things that we could get. That if we follow Hashem's chukim, then we'll get all of these laws and we will get lots of blessings. In there it says, V'loi sigal nafshi eschem. It says that if you follow my laws, you get all this good stuff. V'loi sigal nafshi eschem. And myself will not become disgusted with you. Me, Hashem, will not become disgusted with you. What does that mean? If Hashem wants to give us a blessing, he's saying that, and I won't be entirely disgusted with you. Could that be what Hashem's conveying? He's saying that I'm so proud of my people, therefore I'm going to give them all these blessings, food in its time, no worries from enemies, and I won't be disgusted with you. What does that mean? Have a good Shabbos.